So I'm child-free by choice, and everyone always says, like, what's your purpose? If you don't have kids, what's your purpose? My purpose is getting my nails done, going shopping, treating myself. Look at this new bag I just got from Goyard.
But these people say don't give in to peer pressure. By the way, here comes some peer pressure. Let me make the case as to why you should not have children. And the best they can do is, well, what's my purpose? Getting my nails done. Let's move on to Timothée Chalamet. People call him Himothy.
Because he's him?
Because he's pretty based on some of these things. So he touched on this subject, and of course you have the shrieking from angry feminists, where he talked about people who don't have kids and who brag about it and how that actually seems kind of bleak, right? The reason that he's discussing this is because there's a trend on TikTok, which, by the way, is still Chinese-owned, and one could argue they have a vested interest in suppressing American birth rates. It's just, it's a conspiracy. Crazy. It's not like they had a policy there that backfired of one child and we're drowning little girls in a bathtub. But anyway, I'm just saying there's a connection there. And I want to tell you what you are about to watch, and we have gone through this with a fine-tooth comb, okay? None of this is satire. The left and their ilk have been pushing the message that you will be happier and more fulfilled without having a family. All of these I thought were parodies. They're real.
I don't need validation from a child. That I'm a good person, that I have worth, that I have purpose, because I can find all that within myself.
Not to brag, but what a time to be childless. I mean, I woke up at 10 a.m. on a Saturday, made coffee in silence, and the only person screaming in my house was the espresso machine. I scrolled for 2 hours, I ate leftover pizza for breakfast. No one judged me. You can't buy that kind of freedom.
So I'm child-free by choice, and everyone always says, like, what's your purpose? If you don't have kids, what's your purpose? My purpose is getting my nails done, going shopping, treating myself. Look at this new bag I just got from Goyard.
If you don't have any children, remain child-free. This message is for my young women who want to do X, Y, Z, whatever it is.
Yeah. I've never regretted not having kids.
Well, you're gay.
Not once. And I'm 46 years old. So for 26 years, people have been telling me that I would regret it, and I never have, not once.
I've pivoted my career maybe like 3-ish times in the last 4 years.
You showed up late, you were fired, right?
That's true. If I had kids, because I'd have to worry about their long-term stability and what's better for them.
I have peace, I have freedom, I have an amazing life. I go on adventures all the time. I get to spend all of my money on myself.
Please do not be pressured by society to give birth to children in some way to, carry on legacy.
People love to say having a kid gives you a life meaning. Cool. So does sleeping in and ordering food without sharing it.
First off, I don't know if you know this. If you order food, you don't have to share it with children. You could. There are things called kids menus. As a matter of fact, they're often more affordable than the standard meal, or you could just do like a lot of people do and give them PB&J and order whatever you want. So you get purpose by sleeping in. And by the way, this is, of course, not addressing people who can't have children. I think that not everybody should have children, but we do have to acknowledge that as a society, we need to be replacing ourselves. We need to have at least a base level birth rate that allows the country to function. And we do have to acknowledge that what is most purposeful and most important is the nuclear family, right? That doesn't need to be the ideal. Doesn't mean that we always hit it. But these people say don't give in to peer pressure. By the way, here comes some peer pressure. Let me make the case as to why you should not have children. And the best they can do is, well, what's my purpose? Getting my nails done. Did you think about this before you uploaded the video? Like, if you're trying, like, do you know how you come across? And this is the thing too. The left, they've done such a good job about this. They conflate pleasure with happiness and or purpose. It's not the same thing. Short-term pleasure is not the same thing as happiness or purpose. And you can find purpose and happiness, of course, not just in children. But to deny that people find true happiness and purpose, or at least more happiness and purpose, in raising a family and having a legacy than getting your nails done or eating leftover pizza, they believe it. They believe it. And so Chalamet, in an interview, I believe, with Vogue, he said, bragging about not having kids and how much it afforded them to do other stuff, like, holy shit, oh my God, bleak. Not as bleak as a Saturday night at the Ocasio-Cortez house. And then he went on discussing. He made some good points about the importance of again, the idea of family in this country. He said, I had a friend of mine in school, a girl named Grace, and her parents had the most beautiful, amazing marriage. This is not in context of being great, so this is a little tangential, but it showed me excellence can exist without being arduous. You don't have to be selfish to be great, no. And I know because I've worked with directors who are incredible and who are incredibly present in their family life. Even Dennis, who I'm working with right now, I'm just amazed by him. It was his birthday 2 days ago, and one of his kids flew themselves out as a surprise. He's hugging him, and he's weeping on set, and people are taking videos. Dennis is a total master of his craft, and he's a great family man. So here's the thing. I'm not saying that you have to have kids. I'm not saying that but the attacks come. Here's how you know what the left believes. If you say something that, 15, 20 years ago was not even remotely controversial, and they attack you, that means it's their underbelly. They're showing you what they really want. The Daily Mail ran this headline. Timothée Chalamet risks angering his legion of female fans with snide comment about childless women.
Jeez.
And they cited these posts in their article because it's journalism, just like Abby Phillip. 2 X posts. Here's one of the posts. Timothée Chalamet can write off. Why is it his or anyone's business if someone has kids or not? I don't have or want kids, and I can assure you my life is not bleak. Only 172 followers and 41 likes. It's odd that Daily Mail would choose that to say, hey, his legion of female fans are turning on him. Here's another one. Timothée Chalamet is making fun of people who chose not to have kids while turning 30 next month with no kids. Getting a little behind, buddy. 7 followers and 0 likes.
They both work at Vogue.
Yeah. It's almost like they're trying to turn female fans against him for holding an opinion that most men would find reasonable, agreeable throughout the history of this country.
Yes. Also, I know you want to put him on a clock that women are on, but we don't have a clock.
We don't have a clock.
Sorry.
None of us. Every man in here could father as many kids as we want at any time we want. Think about that.
It's true.
Abraham, Old Testament type shit.
It's like 100.
Now, just to give you an idea, hey, who's right, though? If they're just saying, look, this is the ideal, making a case. Who's doing you a disservice? Who is doing you a service? Who is correct in saying, this is probably something that'll, be more fulfilling than what society is telling you to chase? Here's a new study. Here's from the New University of New University College London. They had a study. And then there's a new study I want to get to. Parenthood results in higher life satisfaction, fewer symptoms of psychological distress, also an unsuspecting excuse to get into Chuck E. Cheese. And then those without children, this is new information. Again, go check the references. So these are people who don't have children. Those who want children or are trying have the highest life satisfaction. Those who want children but maybe aren't actively trying have slightly less life satisfaction. And those who simply don't want children they have the least amount of life satisfaction. That doesn't mean everybody, not all. But who is trying to inform you? And here, when you talk about gatekeeping, just like Abby Phillip talking about, people haven't heard this truth. See Anna Navarro on CNN. These women are telling young women who do have a window, come on, they're leading them astray. And they're also telling them, you can do anything you want. You have all the time in the world. You don't. It is different for women. And as a society, we need to at least avail the option to women, to young women, to have children. Because a lot of women want to. Most do, not all. But many young women are under the false impression that they can live a life of second adolescence and then start maybe looking for a guy in their late 20s. And if they decide they want kids, it might be too late. You do need to know that your percentage of being able to goes down. Who's lying to young women? And what they do is they say, the men who are expressing that, who, by the way, don't have a biological window, they say they're misogynist. They say they're sexist. Well, when you're 45, when you're 50, and you don't have kids, and you didn't realize that you weren't going to be able to, and now you realize that maybe you wanted to, ask yourself, who was trying to let you know the truth as to your available options? Mm-hmm. Having children is not easy. It is very difficult. It can be stressful. And time again, when you look at the studies available, people say it's the most rewarding thing they've done in their life. That's just a fact. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean everybody. But you would have to disregard any and all statistical data available to you to say, yeah, be like me, the old spinster with gray hair talking into a TikTok mic.
Yeah, they are a scourge on our society. I'm going to go a little bit further because that 50-year-old past the window for whatever reason, cat lady saying, be like me, as she's popping Prozac to make sure that she can get through the next day. Listen, that is not what society was built on. That idea, like, go just be a boss, go do this. That is, I'm sorry. You want to have options? That's fine. That's not what they're pitching. They're not pitching options.
They're not pitching options.
They're pitching run away from this because you can find satisfaction being selfish.
Right.
That's exactly what you saw in all of those videos. My life is good because I'm selfish. Just insert selfish right there in their life. They don't have to worry about anybody else. They don't have to sacrifice. They don't have to put others' needs that can't even say thank you most of the time above their own. That leads to a very bad society.
All kids are little narcissists.
Yes.
They only care about themselves, but that's okay. You love them anyway, because hopefully if you do a good job, they turn into non-narcissists, where they actually think about other people. Let me put it this way.
And it's beautiful when they do.
Yeah.
Because you see it.
Let's say you don't know. Okay, let's just take, let's say you're a young woman. You don't know if you want kids or not. Okay? That's totally reasonable. There are plenty of people like that out there. All right. You don't know if you want to. I'm going to advise this prescription. Focus on finding a man and putting yourself in the position where you could start a family first. Prioritize that over career, over being a boss babe, even over college. Prioritize that first, because you can always go back to college. You know, like women used to do, where they would have families young, and then they would go back to school, and they would go to work once the kids were at school. If you don't know, prioritize that first so that you have all options available to you. If you follow the left's prescription, and you don't know, prioritize school, career, sleeping in late. They're advising that you prioritize all of that and your window closes. So which one gives you available options? And then ask, who's open-minded? YouTube's
is something you're not allowed to say according to the guidelines. I was quoting the guidelines. I'm glad you're still here. It means you watched this video all the way through. Oh, it says here that Rumble, where you can go follow my channel, lets you say pretty much anything, provided it's not illegal. That reminds me of, what does it remind me of? Oh, yeah. YouTube, pre-2015. Go on and follow me there. I'm live, 11 a.m. Eastern, weekdays. Don't call YouTube a Oh, it's just a different way of saying it's